I'm live. Woo! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Metro South online classes. We'll see if anybody shows up. Here we go. Here we go. Hello, one person. You made it. Today we are going to be practicing some vaults. The vault specifically is going to be the lazy vault. So welcome. This is Metro South virtual classes, online teaching, parkour and free running, level 2. That is our intermediate class. That means that if you are in level 2, this is for you. If you're in level 1, you can try it, but it's going to be the same as the last one, but a little bit harder. So, we went over the safety vault and the speed vault last week. This week we are going over the lazy vault. They're going to pull from the safety and the speed. So we will do a tiny bit of review to help you remember what those are. Space you will need is wide open space. Wow, look at that, wide open space. And if you have it, a vaulting table or object. I have a coffee table. I've been over this. If you don't have a coffee table and you have a footrest or a bench or a vaulting block, I don't know. If you have something to vault over that you can hold yourself up on without falling off or without knocking it over, that's great. If you don't have any of those things, we will be doing it on the floor, at least some of the basics, and you can follow along all the way up to that point. And then when you do get your hands on something like this, which parents, if you haven't yet, you should find something that they can vault over. It's pretty important. You'll be able to at least do it there on the floor so that you'll be ready to do it there when you get the chance. All right, first things first is a little bit of a warm-up. So up on your feet. We're going to do a high-paced, fast-moving warm-up that I did last week too, because it's good for you. All right. Starting off with jogging in place. Let's jog in place. So stay on your toes, moving those arms, moving your feet, bouncing from one foot back to the other. And next we're going to do jumping jacks. So arms out wide, feet go out wide, arms go all the way up. Boom, jumping jacks. You know how to do it. All right, without stopping, move into high knees. So knees are coming up high. You're running in place. You're lifting your knees higher than you normally would when you're running. It's almost like you're running upstairs or up a really big hill. Except you don't want to lean forward because you'll fall into the wall. So you want to lean back just a little bit, lifting your knees up high. And next we're going to do butt kicks. So we're kicking our butt behind us. Knees are not lifting up high for this one. We're just kicking backwards. And switch back to jumping jacks. Moving those arms, moving those legs. No stopping here. We're trying to get warm. We're trying to move. Whew. Get our heart racing, blood flowing. And high knees again. Knees up high, knees up high. Keep it moving. Keep going. Here we go. We're going to switch to butt kicks in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Butt kicks. Stay on your toes, kicking your heels behind you. Hope you can see it. Woo. We're moving, we're moving. You guys should be breathing kind of heavy now. And relax. But not too much because we got to keep moving. All right. Moving on to our little stretch before we move into the skills. I'm going to move my camera down a little bit. As you can see. Standing in a straddle. We're going to reach our arms up, and we're going to reach down in the middle, and then reach back up, and down to the middle, and back up. We're going to do this a total of 5 times. That was number 3. Number 4. And number 5, stay down low, touching the floor, right in between your feet. And now we're going to rock back and forth. So we're touching one foot with both hands, all the way over to the side, touching one foot with both hands. And repeat. Back and forth. One foot, then the other. The left, then the right. Then the left again. Then the right again. Keeping our legs straight. Try to drag your fingers across the floor as you move back and forth. Boom. And boom. And boom. Great. Stand up nice and tall. Let's swing our arms in big circles. Swinging, swinging, swinging. Cutting off my head here. Keep swinging those arms. Big circles. Moving backwards. And now switch directions. Now we're swinging them forwards. All right, next swing them across the front. And when you come in the front, you're going to switch which one goes up on top every time. And planting your feet nice and strong. Feet don't move. We twist through our back. Arms are swinging out to the side. Trying to get some twisting motion going in our spine so we don't hurt ourselves. All right, standing up tall, feet together. Reaching up to the ceiling. We're going to reach down for our pike stretch. Try to keep your back flat as you come down. Try to touch your toes. If you can touch your toes, touch the floor. If you can touch the floor, put your hands flat. If you can put your hands flat, get your forehead to touch the ground. I dare you. You can't do it. Neither can I. Not with straight legs. All right. Come on up. Before we go any further, I have a little bit of a challenge for you. I saw this on the internet. Let me see what I got. What you're going to need is a piece of paper. Let's see. Piece of paper. Who's got one? Okay. So, get yourself a piece of paper. Normal piece of paper will work, whatever it is. I actually don't know if I can do this, but the smaller the piece of paper, the harder this is going to be. So this is going to be a little challenge during our warm-up. You're going to fold that paper in half. Boom. Make a little tent. Then, I actually have not tried this, so let's see if this works. You're going to put your tent on the ground. Again, the smaller your piece of paper, the harder this is going to be. Now what you have to do is you have to bend down like this. And you have to try to pick up your piece of paper using only your mouth. You cannot put your hands on the ground. You cannot put your knees on the ground. You cannot put your butt on the ground. You must stay on your feet, and you must pick this up, and then stand all the way up again. So, you're crouching down, and then you're trying, without putting anything on the ground but your feet, trying to pick up the piece of paper in your mouth. I don't think I can do it. Oh, I got it. Woo! Oh man, that was tough. Okay. Please try that. That's really hard to do. If you can do that one, I want you to send that to us because that's tricky. I saw that online. Some other movement-based people were trying it, and I hadn't tried it yet. Whew, that was tough. Okay. It may seem simple, but it is extremely tricky. Okay. If you need to warm up any other part of your body, if your ankles are sore, or if your wrists are sore, or if your back is sore, or your butt's sore, or your legs are sore, or your arms are sore, or your shoulders are sore, please do that now. Pause the video, do whatever warm-up you can or need to, and if not, keep watching. We're getting into it. Okay, skill of the day is the lazy vault. All right, the lazy vault is, who knows? I do. It's going to be just like our safety vault and our speed vault, except we're going to do something with that hand that we don't use during it. So, for a little bit of review, on the floor with my green mat, if I did my safety vault here, it's 1 foot, it's one hand, they're opposite. This leg is kicking through. Look at, see this hand? It's not doing anything. That's the hand that we're going to be using today to change this vault into a new vault. So let's do safety vault on the floor, going forwards and back, just like this, 5 times, and then switch sides 5 times, just to get into the motion of bringing our foot in front of us. If our foot does not come in front of us for this lazy vault, you will not be doing it correctly. Okay, lazy vault. Here it is on the floor. Nice and easy, not too tricky. You can start with a safety vault. Once your foot comes through, that hand is going to go down on the floor behind you. So you're in a crab walk position. And then you push and stand up. And you're like, what? Coach Alex, that's it? That's it. It's not that crazy. So I'm going to go facing that way. So I'm going to turn around and show you again. You guys need to remember to bring your foot through the hole that you create with your hand and your foot. The other hand goes down behind you and stays behind you as you kick your feet forward and push to stand up. So, one hand, opposite foot, other leg comes through. This hand goes down behind us, fingers facing forward, and we push to stand up. We can try this on both sides. So I want you to try this 5 times on both sides. So one hand, 1 foot, reaching through, hand goes down behind us, pushing to stand up. Okay? Again, from this side, one hand, opposite foot, stepping through, hand goes down behind us, pushing to stand up. Okay, that is the lazy vault from a safety vault variation, okay? I call it the safety lazy, or the lazy safety, whichever one you want to call it, doesn't really matter. But we're putting one hand, and our opposite foot on the object, and then pushing through, putting our other hand behind us. Try that a few more times, get comfortable with the idea of it. Remember that that hand's going behind you. You will not be able to see where you're putting it down, okay? So get comfortable with that idea. Now, if we're going to do a speed vault variation to this lazy vault, what's the difference between a safety vault and a speed vault? If you don't know the answer to that question, stop watching this video, go back to last week's video and watch that one because I told you already, all right? If you missed that one, you better be watching it. So, difference between a safety vault and a speed vault is we only use one hand instead of one hand and 1 foot, right? So, speed vault is one hand here, and we come over the top. We kick the outside leg up, and then we go, psych, we're not doing a safety vault, and we kick this leg through, all right? Now, what would make this a lazy vault? Same thing as the last one. That hand is coming down behind us, all right? So, what that means is as we kick up and the other leg comes through, this hand needs to reach down behind us, and we end up landing. You can see both hands are on the ground, my butt's in the air, in a crab walk, and we push up tall, okay? So again, I'll do this on my opposite side. I kick one leg up, the other leg comes through, this hand that doesn't do anything normally goes down behind me. Crab walk, and push. Here it is from this way, so you can see it. Ready? Crab walk. Boom. All right? Practice that a few more times, going from in front, doing like a speed vault to the side, landing in a crab walk position as we're moving on to our table. All right? So, at this time, if you have something to vault over, like a coffee table or whatever, that is what you're going to be using. If you do not have an object like this You will have to stick to the ground and practice it more there until you're ready. All right? We're going to start with the safety lazy first, or the lazy safety, and then we're going to move on to the normal lazy vault, just like we did on the floor. So, same thing as we did before. If you need to remind yourself what a safety vault is, it's opposite foot and hand, and the other leg steps through to the ground, and we stand up. Okay? Opposite foot and hand, the other leg steps through, we stand up. Got it? If you need to remind yourself what the speed vault is, one hand, the other leg kicks through. Now for the safety lazy vault, we go one hand on the ground, one hand on the table, opposite foot. This leg comes through, say hello. Just kidding, put that hand behind you. You should end in a crab walk position with your feet on the ground and your hands on the table, pushing to stand up. So remember, that hand goes down behind us. So it's opposite hand and foot, other leg comes through, that hand that's not doing anything goes down behind you to a crab walk position, push to stand up. If you go faster with this, it should look something like this. Okay? Always ending in a safety or in a crab walk position, pushing ourselves off. Now, if you were to imagine that this was a taller object, there would be a moment in time where I'm in the air with just my hands on the object, and then I push, soar through, and land on the ground on my feet. Since this is so low, my feet end up hitting the ground before my hands leave the table. That's fine, okay? But if you can, we're going to add a little bit of a pop to it. So as your feet come around the front, right? So you've done it all the way to where you're about to land in a crab walk. I want you to kick your feet up to the ceiling, push with both hands against the table, and see if you can pop up onto your feet. Should look a little bit like this if you can see it happening. Ready? Okay? There's a moment where my feet are in the air and my hands are on the table, and then I push and land standing. That's how you're going to get a little bit of power out of your lazy vault. Okay. Please practice that a few more times. That is our safety vault, our safety lazy vault, all right, or a lazy safety vault. Once you feel comfortable with that, we're moving on to the normal lazy vault, which is, you named it, going to be just like the speed vault. You knew that, right? I already said that. We already did it on the floor. So what that means is coming over the table, instead of putting our foot up on top of the table like we do in the safety vault, we're going to skip the foot. We're going to kick the foot up, the other leg swings through, and then we're on one hand, the other hand reaches behind us and pushes off the table. Ready? One hand, leg swings up, other leg comes through, this hand reaches behind. Okay? Boom. If you notice, mine's being kind of loud, and it's because it's so low. All right, so all my weight's coming down. As you take off, you want to try to stay as low to the ground or as low to the table as you can. All right? Boom. Let me turn my table so you can see it coming towards you, behind you. Things to look for is my leg coming up. So if I'm putting my left hand down, my right leg is coming up. My left leg is coming through the hole, out in front, and then I'm landing in a crab walk position and pushing to my feet. All right? So if my left hand is on the table to start, my right hand reaches behind me. All right? Boom. Just like that. Here it is going away from you. Okay? This kick up to the side is super duper important, just like it is in the speed vault. If you're not kicking up to the side, you're not quite doing it right. Okay? So we're kicking up, kicking our leg through, putting our hand down behind us. I hope that all makes sense. I wish I could see you guys so that I could watch it and be like, no, here's what you need to do wrong. Or here's what you need to do to fix it because it's wrong. So remember what I said. It's just like the safety vault and the speed vault. If you don't remember those, go back to the other video because I explained them. Except our hand that normally doesn't do anything is reaching behind us and then we're pushing off, okay? So if your hand is not reaching down behind you and touching the table, then you're not quite making it over. Now, here's something I see that happens a lot. When people do lazy vaults, when they end up on the other side, they're having trouble getting their hand to touch the table, or they're missing the table. Okay? If you're having trouble where your hand can't quite reach the table, or it's missing the table, what that means is that you're jumping too far. All right? So as you take off, you're trying to jump all the way over, and then you miss your hand completely. We're not trying to jump all the way over for this skill. Actually, what we're trying to do is jump halfway so that we would normally land sitting, but instead of landing sitting, we're pushing. Okay? So your body should only be going about halfway over the table. So if you look, my booty is still hovering over the table, and then my hands can touch. If my butt's too far, my hand is not able to reach the ground, okay? Or reach the table. So if you find that your hand is not making it, it's because you're jumping too far or too high. Stay lower, and if you need to, practice landing sitting on the table first and then pushing off, which looks like this. Ready? Coming over the top, land sitting, both hands are down by our butt, and we push. Okay? So practice that a whole bunch of times. If it works really well, then good job. Okay. Conditioning. We're going to do lazy vault specific conditioning because that's important. So, off of the same object that you were just doing in the lazy vault, if you were on the floor and you didn't have a table, what you can do is you can use a couch or any edge that's taller than the ground. You're going to put your hands out on the table, your feet go out in front of you, legs are straight. I'm now hovering so that I can lower down, push back up. These are called tricep dips, okay? We're pushing down and back up. So look at my elbows. They are bent and then they are straight. Bent and straight. Bent and straight. I am not sitting down on the floor. I stop right before I touch and I come back up. We're going to try to do 15 of these, okay? So pushing down and up, tricep dips. Holding your body nice and straight, legs are out straight. I want to see 15 of those. Great. Once you've done 15, we're going to do, on the same thing, push-ups. So for this, we're keeping our body nice and straight. Our hands are shoulder width apart. And we're making sure we have the same idea as the tricep dip, where our elbows are bending and pushing back. So if my elbow bends, whoosh, it should look like that. If my elbow's not bending, I'm going to end up doing something like this, like a shoulder shrug. We want to avoid doing push-ups with a shoulder shrug, where our shoulder moves up and down. Instead, we want to push and bend the elbow and push back down, okay? So lower with a bent elbow and push. Because we're using a table, this should be a little bit easier for you, which means that we need to do more of these. So I want to see you do 20 push-ups with a straight, flat body, okay? When you do these, make sure your butt's not up high and your hips are not down low. You're making a straight line with your body, okay? Pushing all the way down and all the way back up. We're trying to get to 20. When you do them, Try to keep your elbows in tight to your body, not out super wide. Okay? If you need to take a break after 10, feel free to do so. Your end goal is 20. If that's too easy for you, bump it up by 10. Go for 30. If you think you can, try to double it. Go for 40. Great. All right. And the last thing of conditioning that we're going to do for today, actually 2 more things. We are going to do sit-ups. For your sit-ups, find something you can put your feet underneath. Okay? Find something that can hold your feet, laying all the way flat. For this one, we're going to do arms are above your head, fully extended. You're going to sit up, your arms reaching towards the ceiling, and sit back down. All right? I want you to do 10, and then take a break, and do 10 more, for a total of 20 sit-ups. Okay? Try to keep your shoulders round, so that means rounding our back, not up super straight. Round ball, you should feel it in your stomach. Okay? Try not to whack anything like I just did. You should feel it. Your abs pulling yourself up. Cool. So 20 total sit-ups. Yeah. Next, last thing. It's going to be some squat jumps or frog jumps. What that means is your feet are going to be shoulder width apart. You reach all the way down, touch the floor in between your feet. When you're in this position, your butt is down low. It is not up high like this. It is down low. Okay? My head is up. I'm looking forwards. I reach down. I touch the floor. I jump. Reach down, touch the floor, and jump. We're going to do 20 frog jumps. Reaching all the way down and touching the floor. If you're reaching down like this, it is not a frog jump, and you're not using your legs. Go all the way down to sit like a little frog, and then explode upwards as high as you can. Okay? 20 times. Alrighty. That is it for our Parkour Level 2 intermediate class on lazy vault. I hope it made sense to you. I hope you were able to do it. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in and having fun. See you next time.